Welcome back to Spey Casting with Jon. I'm Jon Hazlett at the Ashland Fly Shop. Today we're going to cover the snake roll. Now the snake roll is in the Splash and Go family of casts. We do it off our downstream side. It's a super cool, quick, delivered cast, beautiful cast, but I found it's the hardest to learn and the hardest to teach. So I'm going to go through my gig here real quick. What we've got is a ACCEL 7136 paired with a 460 Scandi line for our demo here. We like these splash and go casts like the snake roll. They're great with a Scandi line, not as good with a Skagit line. So it's a great summer steelhead dry line cast. So the snake roll, it's a cast that looks like this. And there's a lot of movements to it. And every stroke that I make when I make this cast goes away from or towards my target, okay? So my first move is towards the bank, which is opposite my target. So I'm standing facing the other bank, so that's the direction I'm gonna cast. My first move, I call it the tension stroke. I'm just gonna get tension on the line here, because this is gonna set up stroke number 2. Stroke number 2 goes towards my target. And when this stroke's made, my line exits the water. Stroke number 3, which is really my anchor stroke and my D-loop stroke at the same time. Stroke number 3 is back towards the bank. Stroke number 4, right at my target. Okay, so let's put those all together. There's stroke 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So what I like to envision when I make this cast, because one of the key elements of this cast is that my rod tip stays high. My rod tip stays high and my rod stroke is flat and oval. So I like to imagine a hot dog in the sky on the horizon, and my rod's gonna circle that hot dog as I make this cast, okay? So my first stroke is back, then towards the target, away from my target, and then I deliver. Okay, so my little mantra for this cast is tension, target, D-stroke, cast. Okay, tension being my tension stroke, target means my rod's going at my target, and then my D-stroke is my D-loop stroke, which gives me load, and then my forward cast delivers. Okay, so tension, target, D-stroke, cast. All the while my rod tip is circling that hot dog in the sky. Where we get in trouble with this cast is when our stroke becomes real circular, okay? If my stroke becomes real circular, what happens is my line touches down too early and too much of it's on the water, so I've got too much anchor, not enough D-loop. Whereas if I keep my rod tip nice and high, when my line touches down, all that touches down is my leader, which is my anchor in this point. I get good D-loop load, and I take advantage of that nice splash and go cast, okay? So, snake roll, facing my target, line straight and tight below me. First stroke is that tension stroke, tension, target, D-stroke, cast. Okay, this cast is all about timing. You notice my speed and my tempo here. Tension, target, D-stroke, cast. Okay, it starts out quicker and it slows down. I have to wait for my anchor to splash down before I deliver that forward cast. So these first 2 strokes, tension, target stroke, my line's in the air, and then when I make my third stroke going back, that's what brings my line to anchor. And I have to watch and see my line anchor here, and just as it splashes down, that's when I deliver, okay? One other problem folks have with this cast is just being impatient and not waiting for that to happen. Because any anchor, any Spey cast, that's my traction. The anchor holds the load of the D-loop. And if I don't wait for that anchor to splash down, I'm not going to have any traction to hold that load. I'm going to have nothing when I make that forward cast. tension, target, D-stroke, cast, okay? One other thing, one last thing on this cast. Guys have a tendency to, on that tension stroke, is to pull towards themselves, okay? When I pull towards myself, the line comes right at me. I have to make sure my rod just goes to the bank. If I pull back at all, my line crashes right into me during the cast. So make sure that tension stroke is just slight. I'm just getting tension on the line so that second stroke can happen, okay? So there's your snake roll. Remember that mantra: tension, target, D-stroke, cast. Circle the hot dog in the sky, wait for your anchor to splash down, and it's gonna go. Super fun cast. Thanks for tuning in.